the answer to your because we speak that truth. Sometimes you doubt yourself, lost your health. Faith is on the fence, but you believe that Jesus knows your wealth. Keep it moving, spirit flowing, because we're here to provide someone to follow Wednesday 8 and 9 and it's on. Well, good afternoon, people. Glad for you all to be here on the Sinclair Show. First and foremost, I want to thank all of you all who continue to send your mailbag questions and comments to sinclairtalk@outlook.com. I'm going to continue to address as many of your issues and concerns and things that's on your mind to reach you, the valued listener. You know why they call y'all the valued listener? Because there would be no reason for me to be here if y'all wouldn't keep hanging out with me. So obviously, I am both thankful and blessed that y'all are riding with your boy tonight. So we about to jump into things. Tonight is gonna be it's gonna be one of them nights where I know already that some of y'all gonna be in your feelings, but that's okay. I don't even care nothing about y'all being in your feelings because when I tell y'all that I got some things to talk to y'all about, and it's fundamentally gonna make me feel some kind of way just to have to even talk about it. What y'all think about that? Y'all want to ride with me tonight with that? All right, so let's do this. Let's get the formalities out the way. Let me see who was the first on the show tonight. Was Gwendolyn Lady Elegance Pritchard, and she said good evening to y'all from Huntsville, Alabama. That's where they do it big at. And next up was Camille Shepard, always glad when she could drop in to see us. Then the arch nemesis herself, Nikki Carter. Jay Dizzle popped in. He's showing love to the city. Oh, y'all, there is Mimi Mims. Everybody hide whatever is in your refrigerator because Mimi Mims is lurking around. And he been, y'all remember when we first met old Mimi Mims on the show, we found out Mimi Mims was like a undercover bandit of your workplace refrigerator. But he said he has made restitution and paid his debt to society. They go, my mama, hey, mama. Ty Matthews, what's going on? Glad to see you. Oh, Nikki Carter, speaking of old Mimi Mims. Let me see who else we got. Annie Moore, of course, is glad to see you. James Key, what's going on, big guy? Glad you are amongst us tonight. And people, for those of you who keep asking the magical question, why, if you are watching us on Twitch or YouTube, I can't see your responses based on the type of software. I'm operating on a software that isn't any one of those specific platforms. It sends everything out to all of them. So I do get to see the Facebook replies, but not the other ones until a later time. So don't y'all think for any reason that old Uncle Cindy Sin is out here trying to hold y'all back and not show y'all love. I'm just not getting them in real time. So, let me tell y'all what we're going to flash today. First of all, we're going to talk about R. Kelly. We're going to talk about the Tennessee 3. We're going to talk about what else is? We got a couple of different things we're going to talk about. But I want y'all to be open-minded tonight. All right. And the reason why I say I want y'all to be open-minded is what? Man, James just said that old Chester DeLoach himself, the big homie, had a birthday yesterday. So if he's out there listening, and if he's not, somebody put the phone to his head, let him know that we said from the Sinclair Show, happy birthday to you. And we're going to come through and holler at you real soon. All right? Thanks for pointing that out. Now, again, there are some topics that is going to be a little bit, I know for some of my female viewers, y'all might not like everything y'all hear tonight, although there ain't going to be nothing new. But I just want y'all to be open-minded when I cover certain things, all right? And the reason why that is because I had an opportunity to review some court documents. And when I review the court documents, I personally I felt some kind of way. All right. And I'm gonna tell you why I felt some kind of way. I felt some kind of way. Matter of fact, should I start with y'all want to start with Kells or y'all want to start with something else? I'm gonna give y'all the choice. I'm typing too. Thought I had all of my documents here in front of me. But that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. But all right. So yeah, okay. I see a bunch of people want to start with Kells. Gwendolyn and James said Kells. It is. Jay Dizzle said Kells. Nikki Carter said something else. There's no doubt in my mind that she would go against the grain. But first of all, let's talk about this. Most of you all have heard about R. Kelly case, probably to a moment of exhaustion. And you found yourselves in situations where you've fallen on one side of the issue or another. And much of that is about what you have heard or what you believe, or even how you feel about the practicality of some of the things that have gone on. But this is what I want to say to you all. There are multiple sides to every story, and often in life, men may not get the fairest of the benefit of the doubt, if you will. Now, let me say this before I begin. I am not in defense of R. Kelly's actions that he was convicted of. Man, y'all ain't tell me that the legal beagle had jumped on. Because Sergeant, what's going on? Glad to see that you are with us tonight. I am not in defense of any action that Kells was convicted of. All right. So let me begin by that saying that this is not let Sinclair defend R. Kelly in some of the allegations against him. Do I believe that R. Kelly did some of the stuff he was convicted of? Sure, I do. Do I believe that there was some things he was accused of that he didn't do? I believe that as well. And then I believe there are some things that are outliers that lie in the middle. So y'all are probably saying, well, the guy that's 20 years, why are we up here talking about him tonight? We're talking about him tonight because of some court documents. There were some court documents where one alleged incident was, and I want to do it some justice, I think it is Azriel Clary, Azriel Clary, Clary, and her mother, Alice Clary. Okay. Now, this is the, and again, I want y'all to, ladies, I want y'all to be open-minded. All right. Let me see who already ain't being open-minded. Everybody seems like they open-minded. So this is what brought me to this point where we're talking about it tonight. In some alarming text messages, Alice, who is the mother of Azriel, She told the young woman to remove her glasses, put her hair to the side, to entice R. Kelly after she had scheduled a visit for the young teen to meet R. Kelly in his hotel room. Understand what I'm telling you? And I am going to read some of the text messages that you can find if you go out to the R. Kelly case logs. You can find it in case, the case number is 1:19.cr.00286.AMD. You're looking for document 269-1. And this particular document was filed on February the 17th of 2022. You can begin on page 44 of 63. All right. I'll put that information in there. But the mother of the young lady who was 17 is texting the young girl. First of all, the mother set the meeting up. She set the meeting up with the 17-year-old. And she's texting, and they were able to grab the text messages and they presented them in court. The mother is saying to her, I want you to take your glasses off, pull your hair to the side. I want you to entice him. She said, Mama knows best. Pretty hurts. That's what she was saying. Later on, she reportedly encouraged the teen to make her appearance look younger due to Kelly's notoriously depraved alleged preference for young girls. This is what she told her daughter: dance, grab his hand, shimmy, wiggle, sit on his lap, and entice him while singing. It's all about the performance. This is your chance and your opportunity. Don't blow it. This is the text messages from the mother's phone to the daughter's phone. She later told her daughter, take off that ugly blank lipstick. I told you he doesn't want you to be grown. He wants you because you look young and innocent. Mother's text messages to the daughter. That's where we starting at. Okay? See, the problem that I have is this is not an isolated incident. But I don't see one parent on trial. I'm going to take you down a path where this same mother, the same daughter, admits via text message that she told R. Kelly she was older, or led him to believe she was older, as he sent for her to fly out to California and other places, Orlando. And it wasn't until after she had already been intimate with R. Kelly that she later told him her true age. But the mother knew, and the daughter knew. Let me see what we got people out here talking about right now. Jane said, but parents have no guilt in this. Absolutely. Ty just shook her head on that one. Lady Elegance Preacher said the mother was prostituting her daughter. The mother was certainly conditioning her daughter for what she believed to be a grand opportunity with Kells. And as we read what was being demanded by the mother, you have to begin to ask yourself, how did Kells wind up getting Layton ain't trying to do nothing with you musically. He want to blank, period, because he like young girls. He will probably hit you up, fly you to him by yourself, get you there, and you will have no choice but to have sex, because he probably would tell you he ain't giving you a return flight unless you do all. This is what the mother's saying to the daughter. Now, you have to understand, these things began with the mother who had a plan. She's not charged with trafficking. Kells is charged with trafficking, not her. And so that's why we're beginning in that particular space. Jay Dizzle said the mom was actually grooming her own daughter for the known predator. Pamela German says hello to everybody. Glad to see you tonight. James said that's crazy. Taya says she has no words. Now, we're going to begin with this because while R. Kelly certainly has a particular reputation, all right? Taya said the mother should have been charged with trafficking because she was definitely grooming her daughter for this. I want to go back to the initial piece where we're talking about the fact that they intentionally hid the fact that the daughter was underage until after she had already been intimate with Kells. And again, this is not defending Kells, but this is clearly asking the question, how is it humanly possible that if someone tricks you into believing that they are a certain age and you subsequently deal with them on an intimate basis, how is it that you face the charges for that? That's where we're going to begin with this at. Anybody got some comments? Let's see what we're talking about out here. All right. Ham said, I agree. James said he's agreeing with what Taya said. The mother should have been a part of the RICO charge. Absolutely. Or should there have been, and I'm just asking, or should there have been a point of perspective to make an example? Taya said, I got mixed emotion about that because with his money and resources, I will be vet. See, here we go with that. And you know what? I'm not even mad that I'm not even mad that Taya said that, because that is a popular opinion. But my question is, and I know this is not popular for me to even ask the question, but my question is honestly, when we start talking about somebody has to vet somebody who might be lying to them about their age, aren't we getting into some pretty gray areas in terms of the legality of something? And again, I'm not judging. I'm okay with y'all having any kind of perspective because everybody's in. But the question that I have is, how do we wind up in a situation where if you lie to a person, and there are documents that show that police security checked her ID before she traveled. So while we say Kells was the obligation to use extended resources to check to make sure that the person that was lying to him about their age was lying or not, are we actually saying this because it's R. Kelly? That's my first question. James said mama was pimping. Johnny said, in actuality, they were scamming Kells, even though that's a sick. Absolutely. Mimi Mim said, Madam Mama Pimps is in the house. Okay, now, and again, I don't want you guys to think I'm defending Kells. I'm not defending Kells. I'm asking an honest question. We are putting the onus on somebody that a person tells you they're a certain age. They may or may not have a fake ID. They know they're in deceptive mode. Mama's in the. I'm not, Ty said, I'm not saying this because it's R. Kelly. I'm saying this because when you're a public figure, there are always people out to get you and take things from you. You got to protect yourself. Yeah, and that may be true. But Kells is sitting on 20 hot ones. And part of the reason why he sits on, here we go, Cassandra said that's not how it works legally. The mother is not on trial, R. Kelly is. Yes, the mother has some accountability. However, the law states it is R. Kelly's responsibility to vet or verify. Unfortunately, it's on R. Kelly. Wrong as it is, it's still on him regardless. And again, I am in agreement with you got to protect yourself. But I believe that when the law, while it may not, and I believe in some cases it does for our Anglo-Saxon brothers and sisters, I believe if someone intentionally lies to you, intentionally plots, there should be something that the jury or the law says should say, in my opinion. If you trick the person into thinking one thing, and you took your deception to the point of getting a fake ID, you got your mama saying that you this age and this, and that, it's hard. Matter of fact, I tell you what, let's keep going. On page 46 of 63 of the document, again, that's case 1:19-CR-00286-AMD document 269-1, filed on February 17th of 2022, page 46 is where I'm reading from now. The mother says, you should text him and be like, you know, you're going to be my boo, and see what he says. To which the daughter replies, LMAOOO. The daughter traveled independently to meet Kells in Stockton, California, where he was performing on May the 1st, 2015. She stayed in contact with her mother the entire time. At one point, the daughter explained to her mother how she ended up going to Stockton to see the defendant. I told you, I'm quoting you all. The daughter says, I told you. He asked me if I wanted to come to his show. I said, of course. And he said, okay, then let's pack this stuff up. He was even putting his stuff in the bag. The daughter said to her mother, both of them remained in constant communication before R. Kelly's show. The mother instructed her about what to wear and made suggestions about how she should behave at R. Kelly's show. This is what the mother told her. I would blow him little kisses and wink at him and bite the tip of my finger, mess with him real good, do something seductive, then make a silly face. The daughter then replies to the mother, he's singing this whole show to me tonight. The mom says, LOL, too funny. The daughter says, for real, for real. The mother then replies, she's laughing, LMAOO. The daughter says, this man is in love. The mother replies, OMG, you gonna marry him and have his baby. The mom then says, LOL, my son-in-law gonna be older than me. The mom then says, too dang funny, to which the daughter laughs. Come on now, people. And it says, so if they checked her identification, what did they do? Change her date of birth? Obviously, she must have had a fake ID because it wasn't R. Kelly that checked it. It was police officers who were providing security that checked her ID. Detective Pamela Black says hello to everyone. Cassandra said R. Kelly had the resources to protect himself against this type of trickery. This is why he is in the situation and we'd be held accountable for it all. Cassandra, while I may agree with you, if R. Kelly hired licensed actual police officers to do security, the police officers testify that they checked the ID presented to them before she traveled, and the ID said that she was older than her actual age. How is it that Kells didn't do what he was supposed to do in this particular situation? I said, are there laws about the intent to defraud? That's a question for the Legal Beagle. Nikki Carter said mental illness. I don't want to go with mental illness because, Nikki Carter, let me say this to you. Every time somebody that we want to give a pass does something, we jump to mental illness. That mother didn't have mental illness. She was a schemer, a scammer. The daughter didn't have a mental illness. She had a dream of being with Kells, and they were willing to lie, manipulate documents, and everything else. I'm not buying or giving a pass to somebody saying this is mental illness, because what it does is it takes and shames those who really do have mental illnesses. You got snakes and schemers. The mother is clearly texting and communicating. They have done more than just thought about it. James said Kells people should countersue. And because most of you have a disdain for Kells, and I'm not saying that it's not right for you too, because again, believe me, I'm not defending everything Kells has ever been accused of, but I am showing you how information that the court has, that they legally obtained from the cell phones of the mother and the daughter, so we know this is factual, that we can see the schemes that people play when they're trying to get ahead. And this isn't the only one. So I'm asking you again, while you may have a disdain for Kells, if Kells had hired police officers who were validating the IDs before the young lady was traveling, what more was Kells responsible to do if he get actual police officers who he's paying for his security, who checks the fake ID, and the fake ID is good enough to pass? How does Kells have a greater responsibility? And this question is for you all who says he's got the resources. He utilized his resources. James says, so he was right when he said they're trying to get him. In this particular case, James, I cannot say it's all of the accusers, but I can say in this one and at least two other ones where they were able to get concrete evidence. Let me see what our Legal Beagle is saying. It's not just a situation, if you have been accused of this type of behavior, you have to go even further than you think is required. I know it doesn't sound fair. Vet like a clearance. Okay, and I believe that the Legal Beagle is giving us sound advice. But again, Cassandra, can you tell us as our Legal Beagle, what else was Kells to do? If I say, you know what, because I've been accused of something in the past, this time I ain't hiring my cousin to do security. I'm hiring actual police officers, and I'm going to have them check everything out. If Kells did that, and the police checked the information and said, this is a good one to go, and the mother is saying, this is a good one to go. Remember, the mother is the one who set the whole scheme in motion, not even the young girl. So what else was Kells supposed to do? While y'all are pondering that, let's go read some more of what was put out in these little documents, if you will. Page 47, the mom says, well, you better get signed first and then married second. This is what she's saying to her daughter via text message. You better get signed for your music first and then marry him second. The mom then says, he's going to seduce you tonight. The daughter says, LOL. The mom comes back and says, you have to give him a massage before he goes to bed. Hold on, people. I want you to listen to this. This is actual text message. You can go get it for yourself. The mom says you have to give him a massage before he goes to bed. The daughter says she's LMAOOO. No, I doubt it. The mom says, girl, you better or he will get someone else to. Now, hold on, people. Come on now. I'm just saying. Mim said, man, he has too many cases of misconduct for this same case. Thomas Mims, I'm not saying that he doesn't. I'm saying to you, Mimmy Mims, you seem like an upstanding guy other than your refrigerator habits at work. I'm just asking the question, Mimmy Mims, when is the last time that you went out on a date with somebody and you asked them their age and they showed you a particular age and you asked them for some ID and they showed you some ID and you had the police to check and the police said it was legit? When is the last time you went farther than that? Nikki Carter said, how about not being with young girls by yourself? Well, I mean, if somebody told you, you seem like you might be somewhat of a cougar, Nikki Carter. If you saw a young dude and he said he was 25, but he looked 21, what would you do? You gonna ask for his ID when you see his ID? If it say he's 25, what you gonna do? Mim said the mother is the sickest person I've ever seen. Absolutely. Sounds like a Tyler's film. Nikki Carter said, how does the mom know this unless him and her were in cahoots? There you go again, Nikki Carter. You know what? Every time I dare to venture to a space where I might give you some credibility for being a critical thinker, here we are, and you want Kells to be a part of the scheme against himself. Who is this, Dot Boyd? What is she done snuck in? I personally think they framed him because he stopped paying them money, and then the mothers and the police should be charged because the mom was giving her daughter permission to sleep with R. Kelly. It's just sad. I concur with that. Thomas Mills said, I only so grown. I don't even know what that means. He said, I don't need ID. Oh, I don't even know what that means. Nikki Carter said, cougar? Yeah, you might be. Big Rod, come on in, Big Rod. We've been missing you, big dog. But again, let's go back. Somebody tell me what is the onus that is on somebody if you hire authorized police to do your security and vetting and they say it's all good. If I told you I was 21, while I wouldn't mess with a 21, because I think they too. Let me say it this way. Different people have different preferences. I don't believe that I believe that young folks ought to deal with young folks. I believe that when you become seasoned, you ought to have no interest, and there ought to be a point of space in mind. And I'll say this, and this is only mine, so I'm not judging you dudes out there or you cougars, but I will say this. If you are of a certain age and you're dealing with a person who is significantly younger than you, I don't know what age you all think, but to me, if somebody is 10, 15, 20 years younger than you, there's going to be a difference in the maturity level. There's going to be a difference in the life experience level. And so I'm of the mindset, why would you even want to deal with somebody that young or younger when, for the most part, they've not lived enough life? So you can't talk to them about nothing. All right, Mim say he don't need ID. James, okay, we done been through that. Let me see. Mim said 21 isn't old enough either. I agree, Mims. I agree 100%. But in defense of not Kells' actions, if you thought somebody was 21 And the police said they was 21. Ty said intent to defraud means to act knowingly and with a specific intent to deceive for the purpose of depriving another of the intangible rights of honest service. Because intent to defraud is an element of honest service fraud, it follows that good faith on the part of a defendant is a complete defense to the charge, according to the Supreme Court of the United States. Maybe that'll get R. Kelly some hope after all. Ty said, I think the mother was doing more than giving permission. I think she was pushing her daughter into the whole situation, as she was. Nikki Carter said she ain't no cougar. Yeah, whatever. Anymore said if he was given the okay by his bodyguards and the police, he had the go ahead to do whatever he wanted to do. That's all I'm trying to say. And that's coming from a seasoned grown woman right there. At a certain point, regardless to what we feel about Kells, you can't keep saying, oh, he should have did more. He should have did more. More than what? Big Rod said, it's like new wine in an old wine cloth. It's not going to hold together for long. Absolutely. Robin said, good evening to everyone. Glad to see you. He was known to enjoy young girls. Okay, listen. And again, we are not defending Kells. We're defending a system that doesn't hold mothers accountable for the tomfoolery that they not only construct, but participate in. Let's go back and read this, okay? Remember, on page 47 of 63, it begins by saying, well, you better get signed first and then marry R. Kelly second. The mom then says he gonna seduce you tonight. The daughter says, laughing out loud, the mom says, you have to give him a massage before he go to bed. First of all, the mom giving her grown woman advice. All right. Yvonne Rouse, what's going on? Glad to see you tonight. Hope you are doing well. Corey Parks, what's going on, my brother? But I want y'all to understand something. The mother of this girl has taught, you know, this is some grown woman stuff she telling. She told her daughter, you're going to have to give him a massage before he go to bed. What y'all think about that? Now, come on now. Some of y'all grown women ain't giving out massages to your man before he go to bed. Matter of fact, this lady ought to be tutoring some of y'all. I'm just saying, she done told this young girl, you're going to have to give Kells a massage before he go to bed. Uh-oh, there go Essie Shepherd. That's right, glad to see you on. My armor bearer, she keep them wolves off me. And I'm saying this to you all because when you want to say they ought to have locked Kells up, when you saying that Kells ought to be doing the 20 years that he got, you're saying it because you believe that he did the things that he's accused of, and I'm not saying that he didn't. Like I said, I think the mother should be prosecuted. It's obvious from the conversation that the daughter was acting like a kid and the mother was... Nope. Ty, I was with you for a second, but I'm not giving no 17-year-old no pass who was complicit in the scheme, who went out there and had sex with R. Kelly. She knew what she was going for. At any point, she could have said, nah, I ain't really with this. So we're not giving teenagers that's out here acting like they grown no pass. There should be a consequence for her too. Everybody got a consequence. Line them all up in cells. I don't care if Kells in there. Lock up Kells, the mama, the daughter, all of them. Everybody get time. That boy said if the bodyguard and police gave him the green light, then he was not fault for that. Then the mom gave her daughter permission to sleep with R. Kelly, so they should have been charged themselves. Absolutely, Doc. That's what I'm trying to say. James said Mars should be charged with a conspiracy. You're absolutely right, James. Nikki Carter said, how does the mom know he wants a massage? Because the grown mama probably got the same type of scheme running with some of these old heads out here. She probably rubbing backs for bucks herself. Big Rod said, where was the father or male figure in these girls' life? Come on, Big Rod. Now, you won't make me answer that question tonight? let me say this. You go into 82% of the homes where there are two parents. Statistically speaking, the male is not getting no respect, especially if he ain't the biological father. You know how many times you probably got some males out here that's saying, hey, do the right thing. But because they're saying something that is against what the mom or the daughter wants, then he ain't getting no respect because you care about what mom say. You don't give a rat about somebody else who, if mom ain't respecting them, you certainly ain't got to respect them. So, Big Rod, when you asked that question, the males could have been right there, but they ain't got no voice. What voice you got? Most men are going to say the right thing. Hey, look, you need to put on some more clothes. You need to stop walking around here looking fast. No, you ain't going to be doing this. You ain't going to be doing that. But it means nothing when the voice of the mother is counterproductive to that. We talking about a scheme here. She doing what her mother told her to do. Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. She also doing what she wanted to do. Come on now. I'm tired of y'all not giving accountability. Let's go ahead and finish. So she told her daughter, you got to give him a massage before you go to bed. The daughter starts laughing. She said, no, I doubt it. The mom says, girl, you better, or he going to get somebody else to do it. The mother continued to encourage her daughter to seduce R. Kelly. At one point, the daughter told her mother that she caught feelings for the defendant. According to the girl, she and Kelly had intimacies for the first time after the concert. At no point during her travels with the defendant, R. Kelly, in California, April and May, did Jane disclose that she was 17 years of age or that she had lied to him about her age. After the trip to California, the daughter traveled to meet the defendant in Las Vegas where he was performing. Think about it. It just told you. These are court documents. At no point when they was doing all this did she say, oh yeah, I'm 17. She was out there rolling with it because her and her mama had a get-rich-quick scheme going on. And y'all sitting around here talking about, well, Kells should have hired 20 more police officers. What, was they going to pass the same ID card down to 20 of them? Come on now. Listen to this foolishness. That's a lot of pressure on a 17-year-old. Half of y'all got 17-year-olds that been sleeping with little boys at school since they was 15 and 14-year-old. Stop coming with that mess. This is the reason why in our communities they are the way they are, because we got an excuse for everything that goes on. We have an excuse for the reason why young girls are in the situation that they are, and they turn out to be just like they grown mamas. This mama is telling her 17-year-old, fly out there to see Kells. I'm going to make everything. She set the first appointment up. She's telling her constant communication. The girl was never out there on somewhere where she felt fear for her life. She was out there and they was running the scheme. Girl, give him a massage before he go to bed. That girl knew what she was and was not going to do. What did she tell her mama? Nope, I doubt it. I ain't giving him no massage. Big Rod said the mother and daughter need to catch a case, but an underage girl will never be charged. I agree. She won't be charged. Ty Matthews said that's a learned behavior. Lock him up. Lock who up? Nikki Carter, who you talking about locking up? Are we locking up Kells? Or are we locking up? Because Kells are already behind bars. And again, none of this tonight is about saying that R. Kelly didn't do something. It's about saying, let's look at how this occurred. Kells is exactly where y'all want him to be at. He in jail. And I'm not having a problem with it one way or another. Do I think he should have got 20 years? Not when I read stuff like this. Should he have got some time? Hey, It's a toss-up. I don't know how many of the other allegations were just like this. That's a plan. No 17-year-old is handling a freak situation Kelly is putting out. Mims, what are you talking about? I'm baffled. Like I said, I'm not disagreeing with the fact that there should be a level of accountability for the 17-year-old girl, but there is a reason why people are not allowed to drink legally until they're 21. I'm not about to get into the medical or biological aspect of that. The decision that you make as a grown woman, a truly grown woman, are way different than the decisions making capacity of a 17-year-old girl. Let me tell you what the problem with that theory is. You know how many times I've come on this show and done a show where there was a 17, 18-year-old young black man who was given some jail time because he was in an intimate relationship with somebody who was 15, 16, or 17. You know how many times we've done that? And each time y'all keep rolling back, well, they didn't know what they was doing. You're a lie. These fast-tailed young girls know exactly what they're doing. And it is totally disturbing that there's no consequence for them. There's no consequence for this mother. There's no consequence for the daughter. It's always these black men that face consequences. So when your 17, 18, 19-year-old son winds up in jail because of some fast-tailed girl, then all of a sudden you come to the other side saying, well, the mama knew and everybody knew and the girl knew. Come on now. Thomas Mims said, mama's playing. Should have gotten life. Like I said, I don't think that a 17-year-old boy should be held to those standards either. Well, who should be held to some standards? What should the standard be? That's a good question, Ty. Since you don't think the 17-year-old should be held to any standard, what should the standard be then? Because I want you all to understand something. And maybe this will jog some thoughts into y'all minds. Do you know, I can tell you as a matter of fact, and I've had this conversations with students at the college. Your son or daughter right now, who is in high school or early college, who sends a picture of themselves, nude or half nude, from their phone to their boyfriends or from their phone to their girlfriends, is committing a felony. And if their phone gets taken, they can go to jail for the felony. You think it can't? Look it up for yourself. Some of y'all don't think it's possible because some of y'all got your phones out right now. You're doing the same thing. Matter of fact, some of y'all sitting in the same room right now with your 15-year-old, y'all taking pictures half naked and sending them out. I'm telling you, the problem is young black males are the ones who get prosecuted. Black males in general get prosecuted. And then y'all walking around telling me, oh, what the person didn't know. If you're old enough to develop a scheme in conjunction with your mama and to carry it out with that effectiveness, to hop on planes and fly across the country, to do all these things, to check in the hotels by yourself, to do all of this, you gonna tell me there's no accountability? That's the problem with our society right there. No consequence for the girl. I don't think a 17-year-old should go to jail for sleeping with a 15-year-old girl. You don't? What you think should happen to him, Ty? What should happen to a 17-year-old that gets caught sleeping with a 15-year-old? Matter of fact, what age do you think is appropriate for them to start sleeping together? That's an interesting question. So if you don't think that a 17 should go to jail for sleeping with a 15-year-old, do you think that a 16-year-old should go to jail for sleeping with a 14-year-old? Do you think that a 15-year-old should go to jail for sleeping with a 13-year-old? Where do you all of a sudden believe that there should be some ramifications at? Because you gave me a 2-year difference. You said a 17-year-old should not go to jail for sleeping with a 15-year-old girl. So should a 15-year-old boy go to jail for sleeping with a 13-year-old girl? No, Taya, no. This is what we're not doing. You're not going to come back and say, I don't think they should be sleeping together at all, but you were talking about jail time. What period should there be some jail time? What period should there be some consequences? Do you believe that a 15-year-old sleeping with a 13-year-old should get some jail time? Big Rod said that 16 to 18-year-old age group is tricky age because under the law, they are not adults. So when kids get caught in the act of doing anything sexual, they are under their parents' guidance. Well, 18-year-old is considered to be an adult. Matter of fact, in some of these states, you can get married at 14 with your parents' permission. I'm not saying any of it should be done. I think all of it should have a consequence. But I do want to know when does the I'm going to get a pass stop? Because if you have to ask this question, then you also have to say, if you're okay with there not being a consequence when your child is 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, if you got a 17-year-old who's already been sleeping around since she was 15 and 14 years old, stop acting like she don't know what she's doing when she gets 17, and now she's just pushed the age bracket up of the people that she's sleeping with. Tired of y'all. But that young man can be charged with rape in most states. Absolutely, James. And that's the reason why there should be consequences. Because right now the consequences are only going one way. Not saying that he shouldn't get them. I believe all of them should get some consequences. Anyway, somebody asked, Nikki Carter says she want to go to the other topic since she's losing this one. All right, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about the Tennessee 3. Most of you all, if you haven't been under a rock and you have watched any of the news, there were 3 of Tennessee's lawmakers who were protesting gun violence after a gun violence situation in Tennessee recently. 3 of them, there was one white lady and 2 young black men, one of which was the youngest black man to ever hold that position in the state of Tennessee. So what the Republicans in the Tennessee House decided was they was going to use an expulsion clause to remove the 2 young black men. What they didn't do was they did not remove the white woman who was protesting as well. Now, in fairness to everybody, I believe as of tonight, both of the young men have been reinstated, not by the House themselves, but because there is a clause that says it can be revoted on. And once you are put back, you cannot be expelled for the same thing. Okay? So here's what I wanted to talk about. The Tennessee 3, the white lady and the 2 black men, turned into the Tennessee 2 when it came time to kick somebody out. They kicked out the 2 young black men, and they did not kick out the white woman. They said, well, because she didn't use the bullhorn when she was talking about the same exact issue at the same exact time. And I want my colleagues, my Anglo-Saxon brothers and sisters, to understand. You all keep saying that racism isn't what we think it is, yet and still we keep seeing time and time again where when confronted with 2 identical situations, that there is a different discipline for minorities, for blacks, than it is for whites. Remember, ma'am said the unwritten Karen rule. Maybe, but in this case, ma'am, it's like by default, they gave her a pass because she wasn't even a Karen. She was a regular white lady who was trying to defend the voice to say, because there was a murder situation, which was considered to be a mass murder, that they were talking about the need for gun reform. So the white lady was on the same page with the brothers, but they by default said, hey, I'm not comfortable kicking a white woman out of the house, but we are so bold that we'll kick out these two black men and keep her here. And that's the problem that we have right now. Let me see what they're saying. Annie Moore says she also said she knew why they didn't kick her out was because she was white. She absolutely said that. That expulsion was uncalled for. Absolutely it was, Nikki Carter. But I want you guys to comprehend this, because while we get caught up in a whole lot of other stuff, there are real issues that are facing us in the minority community every single day. And while we are more than thrilled that our brothers were given back their position, what it reinforced is how easy and fragile even you getting elected to an office can be. You got that fool up there in DC, that Republican, who they caught this dude lying. I think he was a Latino dude. He's a Republican. He lied, he cheated, he stole. He got all kind of stuff going on. You got the dude from down there in Florida who they say, hey, this dude was somehow attached to a sex ring with young girls, and the dude that got locked up down there. We have heard it all, and nothing happens to them. But because these two young black men who are now in legislative positions said, hey, we want to bring gun control to the forefront, and the Republicans didn't want to hear it, they exercised their right to be aggressive toward them. Nikki Carter said that's exactly what they said by their votes. Mimi Mim said brothers can't actually say what's on their mind. They can, they did, they paid a price. And this is one of the few times where we can see that society corrected themselves. Now, I will say this. I was equally pleased to see that the Republican Party in Arizona expelled one of their own for doing some foolishness. She brought somebody in to falsify information before their house. And so they actually did something to her by expelling her. And it stood because it was a vote of Republicans expelling a Republican woman. But again, Nikki Carter said, y'all, if y'all want to know somebody doing similar stuff, look at Santos, look at Gates. Gates was the guy down in Florida. Mim said politics in full effect. Absolutely. Look, people, we got a lot of stuff that we're going to be talking about in the coming weeks and months. Like I said, there's a price for melanated people. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of things that we're going to be talking about in the coming months. But I don't want to be the only person. And I thank all of you all who keep sending me these things that y'all want to talk about. But I don't want to be the only person that is considering how these things are impacting us in our society. I need you all. I need you all to do more than just talk about it. Bring it to attention. Let's make sure that we are bringing this to a focus. Many of you got 4,000-5,000 friends on Facebook. Bring them on to the Sinclair Show. Let's all talk about this together, all right? James says, so what they waiting on for Santos? Hey, I can't tell you, man. I cannot tell you, that's for sure. Their platform got larger. Absolutely, it did. All right, look at people. This is what we're going to do. I'm getting ready to go. It's 9 o'clock. I'll see y'all next week. We're going to talk about some good topics. And I got a little gift for y'all next week, all right? Time to go, people. Time, baby, baby. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
The Sinclair Show is on.
It is on.
Run it if your friends come on.
Come on.
It's a moment of the show tonight. Bell bang.